Friends and Patriots, so we're going to do a little install today on Sniper Wolf's Pan America ST. So I want to install this NOCO dongle that goes on the battery so that if you ever need to jump start your motorcycle, you can. Those of you that know Pan Americas know that the battery is not under the seat like most motorcycles. It's actually down here underneath this skid plate. So it's actually right behind the front wheel. Hard to get to, and you cannot reach it with jumper cables. You just can't reach it at all without taking the skid plate off. So if anything happens, you're out on the road, you're getting your toolkit out, taking the skid plate off to access the battery to give your motorcycle a jump start. And so when you do long trips and you're out of town, maybe thousands of miles away from home, having that safety buffer or that ability, if you ever need it, to jump start your motorcycle can be a lifesaver. So I'll show you what it looks like here real quick. It's just a dongle, really. Attaches to the battery terminals, and then this is the receptacle that a battery boost, a little portable battery pack, will plug into this and you can jump start your battery. Now I already have one on my Pan America, and we tried to install this on Sniper Wolf's motorcycle shortly after she got it, when we were installing the Denali auxiliary lights, sound bomb horn, things like that, those accessories that need to be wired up to the battery. Well, we discovered that the battery terminal that you slide all your wires onto isn't long enough to get all those cables onto it and then get the nut on top of it. And we tried and just couldn't get it to work. How I managed to do it on my Pan America, I don't recall. I don't know if there's a difference in the length of the battery terminal pegs. We just couldn't make it work here for Sniper Wolf's bike. We tried to put this on before and just could not get it to fit. Well, we bought some battery terminal replacements that are longer, so that when you need to put more things on your battery terminal, you've got some extra room. So that's what we're going to start off with. We're going to put these on the battery terminal, replaces the ones that are there, and then we'll put all the accessory wiring on there. That's today's goal. So we're taking you along and we're going to show you how we do it. The first thing we have to do is to take the skid plate off, and that's a number 40 Torx bit. Friends and Patriots, so a little hiccup. It turns out that the battery terminal replacement doesn't fit this battery. So what's on the battery currently is a little bolt like this. It's just not long enough to get the all the wires on there and still get threads on. So a little trip to AutoZone and got just simply a longer bolt, and it doesn't have a Phillips head on it like the original OEM. It's got a 10mm ratchet head, which is perfectly fine. So that extra length that we need to get wires on to that battery, this is going to take care of it. So plan B, but we're going to get the job done. So we got the new bolt in place, all the wires attached. You can see the lights were flashing. That's because I'm interrupting the power supply to the motorcycle system. Now, they do recommend that you pull the main fuse, which is up here underneath the fairing on the right side whenever you're working on the electronics. I never do that. And but anyway, if you want to be super safe, you don't want to short out anything, you can do that. And but anyway, so at this point I simply need to figure out where I'm going to fish this so it's accessible with the skid plate back on, and tighten up the bolts, tighten up the wiring, and install the skid plate, and we're done. All right, so on the other Pan America, nothing fancy going through the frame. It simply came out down here around the crash bar, and then it's accessible to the side of the skid plate. Although the skid plate on this motorcycle is a little different than the other one, it should work. All right, nice and snug. All right, both are nice and snug. Now we just need to put the skid plate back in place. All right, so the dongle is going to come out right over here, and should be perfectly fine tucked in right there. And that's kind of how it is on my other Pan America. There isn't a whole lot of room underneath this skid plate for wires and cables regarding your battery, but we made it work. All right. Everything is installed. Okay, I'm getting everything snugged up, torqued down. And if you're wondering how many foot-pounds of torque for these bolts or how many Newton meters, about that much. Yeah, I'm not using a torque wrench, and we're not launching the space shuttle here. So we're just torquing down some bolts on a skid plate to make it secure, but not so much that we're going to strip out the the bolts. And there we go. All right, friends. Thank you for watching the video. A nice little feature. If you're ever away from home, you have some type of an electrical issue, some type of an electrical drain, or batteries do have a lifespan. So after a number of years, your battery may decide it's not going to fire up your bike anymore. And if that happens and you're on a Pan America, it is a chore to get under there, take the skid plate off, access your battery, get a jump start. But in this case, we now have a dongle. You just pull it out, plug it into a battery pack, turn the battery pack on, fire up the machine. So thank you for watching. We appreciate you. If you like the content we're providing, hit the subscribe button, comment, share, like button. You know all the things you need to do to help the algorithm make us a channel successful. But until next time, you guys stay safe.